just do that, get that started. Okay. It's so nice to see your all's faces. Yay. Nice. See, everyone's learned Zoom etiquette, so being on mute.
Hi, Richata.
Hello.
Oh, Ari's on too. Hey, Ari.
Hi.
Oh, there's Ari. Scroll through my pages here. I saw Elena too, right? Didn't I see Elena? I saw you somewhere.
Yeah, Haley.
Oh, there you are. There you are. Hey.
How are you? It looks so sunny there. It just was like torrential downpour in New Jersey.
Yeah, no, it was torrential downpour here, like maybe an hour or something. Yeah, the sun's out right now, but we'll see if it stays. That'll be nice.
I invited a few students to the call, so I'm hoping they're joining.
Yeah, fantastic.
Elena, I'm here.
Hey.
All right, we'll just give another minute, let people hop on. About 35 right now. It's awesome. All right, we'll go ahead and get started. Welcome, everybody. It's so nice to see your all's faces. I've got 2 screens here full of beautiful faces. Nice to see you all. So thank you for joining us today. I know you all, I'm sure, have a lot on your plates with online classes, Bonner, maybe personally things going on. So appreciate you all taking the time to jump on here and be a part of this community. So what we're gonna do is I'll introduce myself and then have my co-host introduce himself. And then we'll do a little bit longer introductions for all of you in a little bit in a breakout room. We're gonna use the breakout function and then some polls, so that'll be nice. So I'll just start with introducing myself. I'm Liz. I am the Community Engagement Director at the Bonner Foundation. I've been in my role for about 1.5 years. I'm a Bonner alum as well from Center College in Kentucky, and I was the Bonner coordinator there for 2 years before coming into this role. So I'm going to let Arthur introduce himself.
Okay. Hi, everyone. I'm Arthur. I'm the Alumni Network Manager at the Bonner Foundation, also a Bonner alum from the University of Richmond. I think we have 2 more staff on here. Ari?
Hi, y'all. I think I'm on. I don't think I'm muted. Hello, everyone. I'm Ari. Great to see you all. Thanks for joining us.
And I think Christy and Richita are both on, too. You're on mute, Richita.
Yeah. Hi, everyone.
Bonner AmeriCorps program at the foundation.
That was Christy and Richita. Awesome. Okay. I think that was all the Bonner staff I saw. All right. So what we're going to do just to start off is we just want to get a sense of who all's on the call. So I think the most efficient way to do this is we're just going to have, if you can type in the chat which school you're from, and then Arthur is going to read it out. So we can just see who all school-wise is on the call. And then we'll do some longer introductions a little later. So go ahead. Wow, that's a lot. Okay, go Arthur.
All right. We have Wofford, Christopher Newport, Colorado College, Berry College, Rollins College, University of Tampa, Siena College, Slippery Rock, Christopher Newport again, Siena, UNC Chapel Hill, Rollins College, Mars Hill, Concord, Capital University, Wagner, have 2 Wagners, UNC Chapel Hill, Siena, TCNJ, Spelman, Waynesburg.
Nice. Beautiful list. Very nice. All right. Awesome. So what we're going to do is I'm actually going to share my screen and show you all the agenda for the call and also the goals for this call. So I'm going to do that so we can walk through that. Share screen. Okay. Whoop, got to move that chat out of the way. Can you all see the screen?
Yeah. Yep.
Nods or something? Okay, great. Awesome. So our goals here today, so we've actually been doing network-wide calls with the Bonner staff we've been doing it on a weekly basis for the past couple weeks. And so we had the idea, actually Arthur had the idea that it might be nice to do the same kind of thing with the Bonner students, Bonner leaders, the BLT members and interns of your all's programs, and just have a time for you all to come together. So the goals here are just to provide a space for support and community. As you know, this is a tough time for a lot of people, for many of us. So we just wanted to create this space for support, and then as well as to share ideas and troubleshoot challenges. Since you all are the leaders of your Bonner programs, you know, you may be looked at as to provide guidance or a source of inspiration or ideas to bring back to your program. So we wanted to have a time that you all can bounce ideas off one another and troubleshoot challenges and support each other in that. And then also to share some resources that we have at the foundation that might help you all in some of these efforts. So that's the goals and the intention for the call today. And so what we're gonna do, what it'll look like, we'll have welcome. Hello, welcome. So we'll start by setting some group norms, and we'll transition back to the big group for that. So we'll do that, and then we'll do introductions a little more in depth and a check-in. So we're gonna do that in a breakout group. And so in that breakout group, we'll have you share one thing that you're grateful for and then one thing that's challenging for you. So we'll do that in the smaller groups, and then we'll move into sharing ideas about what's working, what are some strengths for your Bonner program in the middle of the COVID-19 situation, and then end on these resources that I was talking about, and we'll talk more about that, which in-reach capacity building projects and some alumni outreach teams and alumni ambassadors, and then have some time at the end for any kind of general questions and answers, ways that we can be helpful. And then, but throughout this, feel free to use the chat function and ask questions there, and we'll just try and address them as we go along. Sound good? Awesome, great. All right, so let's start off with just setting some group norms for how we want to use this space and engage this space today. Arthur, do you want to take over this part?
Yeah, sure. So if you think about some norms that would help get us through this section today, you can also type it into the chat. But I just want to let everyone know that the norms that we want to set is just to regulate our interaction for today and to give everyone the opportunity to express their values as well during this time. So we want to listen to each other and not interrupt. We also want to make sure everyone has a chance to speak, and we want to avoid any ethnic or gender bias humor while we're going through this too. And this will be like a safe space for you to express yourself, but also think about how we can best champion like the Bonner values while doing that as well. So if you have any suggestions, you can also type that too in the group chat.
So any additions to those that Arthur laid out, any more group norms? You can also just unmute and say it, but you can also type in the chat. You got a sounds good from Robert. Sound good? Any additions?
Everyone's good?
We're good?
Okay.
Sounds good. All right, then what we'll do now is we'll go into, since there is a big group, which is fantastic, we're up to 43, so that's awesome. So we do want to let you all introduce yourselves a little bit, you know, well, actually, yeah, introduce yourselves in general. So we're gonna do a breakout room. And so when we get into it's just gonna be random. And then so when you get in that breakout room, just introduce yourself, your name, who you are, which school you're from, what role you play in your Bonner program. And then just as a check-in, if you can share one thing that you're personally grateful for and one thing that you're finding challenging, that's a challenge for you right now. Sound good? Okay, let me see how to do this breakout rooms. Here we go. Okay, let's see, how about 8 rooms of 5 each? That sounds good. Okay, all right, see you, I'll give you about 7 minutes for this. Okay, here we go. And do we get it? 7 minutes.
I'll start. Okay. I'm Jacqueline. I am a student at Slippery Rock University. I'm a Bonner intern. I'm the community partnership coordinator. And something that I'm grateful for is I get to spend Easter with my family, and that wasn't going to happen otherwise. So that's kind of exciting. A challenge is trying to balance all 7 of my classes with like a lot of the Bonner stuff that we're doing.
I'll go next. I'm Olivia. I go to Wofford College and I'm on my Bonner leadership team and I'm the internal communication coordinator. Something I'm grateful for during this time. I think it would definitely have to be being with my family and spending time with them because I don't do that a whole lot during the school year. But on the other hand, something that's been challenging is being productive while being home and doing those online classes and just having to be in one spot and not being able to have that little bit of independence. But it's going good, and I'm sure y'all are experiencing that as well.
I'll go next. I'm Peyton. I'm from Concord University in West Virginia. I am our communications intern / senior intern. We do a lot with event promotion and attendance and all of that. And I also help out our regular senior intern with her jobs as well. Something I'm grateful for right now is being able to spend time with my family and my dog. It's good to be home a little bit. But the biggest challenge is definitely being away from my friends and all of my other Bonners and having that structure. But I'm sure that's the same for everybody.
I can go next. Hi, I'm Drea. I'm a Bonner at Siena College in Albany. I'm a senior intern at our Bonner program and I manage our recruitment. So I've been interviewing incoming students and doing that type of thing, which has definitely been different doing it at home versus doing it at school. So that's been kind of hard. But I'm grateful for things like Zoom to keep me connected to people who aren't in my house every day. And yeah, I'm also definitely challenged not being on campus.
Well, I am Robbie Redinger. I go to Waynesburg University. I'm currently a class representative on BLT, and I applied for finance coordinator next semester. So I'm just grateful to have like the comforts of home for a while, better food, that kind of thing. Um, haven't really had too much of a struggle, just like kind of leaning over the computer all day instead of sitting in classes can kind of, I don't know, make you sore and stuff, but it's not too bad.
Thank all of you all for sharing. I just popped in, joined your group here. I can go there too. I am grateful for honestly Bonner and having these communities. I think it's especially in a time where we're social isolating and you know, being told not to interact with people, that I'm able to kind of have 40 some, however many people, you know, come together of Bonners and feel connected, feel a sense of community still. So I'm really grateful for that. And I'm actually going to echo Robert's challenge. I feel like I'm getting more back problems by sitting at the computer all day instead of like getting up and moving around. So physically feeling some challenge there, but awesome. All right, I'm going to pop out and bring people back in, but thank you all.
Almost had everyone back.
Yep, we're almost all back. One more. Okay, I think we're all back. Great. Awesome. Okay, how was that? Good? Awesome. Can we have maybe a couple people share from your breakout room something that was grateful for them, that, and then maybe a challenge that resonated with them? So not necessarily what they said, but someone else said that it resonated with them. Have a couple people share?
So Marcus Daniel here from Stetson. In our breakout room, some of the things that resonated with me as far as being grateful is definitely having health in this time and like being able to do the things that we're doing without that extra like fear. And then also something that someone else said that was a challenge that also resonated is, well, it was also my challenge, was like that work-life balance, that like now being away from everyone and kind of like separated with this extra fear and anxiety going on, it's a little bit more difficult to like stick with it and get into the work.
Thank you, Marcus Daniel. Appreciate
Absolutely.
it. Do one more?
I could go. Gabby here from Widener College. Something that we, like a lot of us were grateful for in addition to our health, is the ability of modern technology and being able to connect with friends and family and stay on and still be able to, you know, especially for seniors, still going to class, because then we wouldn't have graduated on time. And something that a lot of, I think in our breakout session, we all kind of, that I resonated with, is the motivation to do school at home and have that like drive to do it, because you're used to, for people that live on campus like myself and like other people in our chat, you're used to having a separate area that is where you do school, and now it's, you're doing school in your home, so it's a little different. So
yeah, definitely. Thanks, Gabby. Awesome. Okay, so next, we're going to talk a little about your Bonner programs. So if you can think of and reflect on your program, and identify one strength, something positive, like a good idea, something good that's happening that you can share with your peers. So this is kind of like the idea sharing part of it. So something good that's working well that you would want to share with your other Bonners. And we're gonna do breakout rooms for this too. So get into
and on this one, if you guys wouldn't mind, open the chat and say your idea, but also type your idea. Then we can collect it. We won't be able to take notes in every room. That'd be really great.
True. So maybe let's take a minute and you can reflect and then add it to the chat, and then we'll jump into breakout rooms. Sound good? Okay. Some good ones coming in. Nice. Nice. Awesome. Rollins is doing superlatives virtually. Nice. Nice. Continuing Bonner meetings, continuing cohort meetings, boost morale. Nice.
Commitment to recruit incoming Bonners. That's from Wagner.
Nice. TC and
Are you
J.
still going to break us up?
Yeah. Just
awesome.
Okay, we'll do breakouts, and then you can still come back and add your idea to the chat as well, so we can have it all documented. Okay, breakout rooms. I'm gonna shift. Let's do. Okay, here we go. See y'all in about another 5-7 minutes.
Really participating that much, but we do all Bonner meetings, and then we've had a couple upperclassmen Bonners just reach out to all of them and just say, hey, we're here, we're able to contact with you if you have any questions and difficulties, and just our staff as a whole has been super supportive and just checking in with us and just making sure we're all doing okay.
Since we are a new program at Colorado College, it's been really difficult to try and transition online since we don't really have an entire sense of identity even on our campus yet. Honestly, right now we aren't hosting any online meetings or anything in that regard because our cohort might not have access to internet or the kind of technology that some of us are fortunate to have. So we're trying to be as conscious as possible and only doing things that seem to be accessible to everybody. That's kind of hard to answer.
I think that's really great. That's so awesome that you're taking into consideration that people, might not have those same opportunities.
At Christian Newport, where Jesse and I are, we utilize GroupMe a lot. We do GroupMe's per cohort, but because of this, we just did one called Bonner Family. We're small but mighty. I think we have total maybe 35 Bonners for all 4 years, and so we just threw everyone in a GroupMe and just said Bonner Family, where it's just, hey, how's everyone doing? Is everyone okay? Does anyone need anything? Okay, let's set up something. So in addition to our Zoom meetings that we're doing, cohort based or just program based, we have this GroupMe that you can just, feel free to just share anything you want of your high, your low, school isn't the best, or I'm not really doing well at home, and just be there for one another, not physically, but, it's something.
Yeah, just to pop off of what Sean said, Vanessa and I are constantly in contact with our bonders via email, or even just like a quick text saying like, just checking in on you, how are you guys doing? And we're always telling them like, if you need to contact us, we are more than willing and able to be of any assistance that we can, because Vanessa and I are FaceTiming each other 24/7 during this time, because it's just us. We are the Bonner program people / Center for Community Engagement people. So we're going through this together as a whole. So we don't want anyone left behind. So we try to make sure that message is put across, and no one's left behind. We're here for each other. If one of y'all stumbles, we'll be there to help pick you back up on your feet again.
Nice. Yeah. Do you all feel like how do you feel like morale is with Bonners overall? Doing okay? Or
I think.
Oh, go ahead.
No, Sadie, you go first. It's fine.
I feel like our Bonners definitely are struggling a lot with not being able to go out and serve. Like they, have expressed a lot like, hey, can you send us some opportunities, or where can we get our hands on service? And so I think that has definitely like lessened the morale for sure. People aren't as enthusiastic to like get on a Zoom call and speak to everyone, because we're not in person. It's kind of emotional seeing your people, through a Zoom call. Like you're not seeing your people constantly. So I think it's tough for sure.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I think for us, I would agree that a lot of it's with Sadie. It's hard when you are just transplanted away from your site just in the blink of an eye, and you still want to be in touch with them, but the site itself may not be hip to the times, whether the site supervisor doesn't really know how to use Zoom, doesn't really agree with it, or just the site itself has just been closed because for whatever reason. Even when you want to reach out, we're here for you, but there's nothing for you to do because there's nothing that we can do in the meantime, so it's part of that. Well, I have to be a student, but also now be at home. What if you have to take care of your family? Or what if you have an immunocompromised family member, you can't go out, or you get sick yourself, and then on top of it, you want to also be out in the community, and then you have nothing to do. I'm fortunate enough that I work with a children's nonprofit where we are doing virtual projects over Zoom, and we're having kids learn about it. So that way, if this happens again, they're, techno savvy with how to do a Zoom project, or, be hip to it. But I know that a lot of my fellow Bonners don't have that site that's fortunate enough to still be in contact with the people that they serve and love.
Yeah, I think that's a great point, Sean and Sadie. That from what we can tell, it seems like a lot of this is going to move online. Service is going to be moving online, and partners are, when they, if they can be at capacity, we'll be looking for students to do kind of remote online projects. Have you all, Sean, you gave your example of your partner. Have any of you, anyone else been in contact with their partners about, like, are they looking for online stuff yet or not? Or
I have, yes. I personally am immunocompromised, so I really have to be cautious during this time. So I thought at first it would be impossible because I work with a government agency, so I figured they would be shut down and it would be really difficult to work with them. However, the most difficult thing for them, actually, at least in my experience, is not them having trouble with technology. It's rather the time to invest in the volunteers that work for them. They're already labeling so many conversations and meetings about how to adapt their own line of work to these recent developments, and now trying to tackle on a few volunteers too is overwhelming for them. So as much as I am encouraging fellow Bonners to reach out to their community partners and try and see if they can still be involved, if they themselves can do it, we also have to acknowledge the stresses that we are putting on the actual partner too.
Yeah, great points. Okay, I'm going to pop out and then invite people back to the big room. But thank you all for sharing.
Of course.
Hey. Oh, I think you're on mute.
There we go.
I got kicked off in between and then it wanted to add me to a different breakout. So I was like, I'll just wait for it to end because I don't want to interrupt.
That's good. Just invited people back. So. Waiting on some other people to join back. Okay, I think we're all.
I think everyone is back.
Yeah, I think we're here now. Okay, awesome. All right. Chat up too. Okay. Can we have a couple people share either what you talked about in your breakout or expand on what you wrote in the chat? Just a couple people.
Liz, don't hesitate to call on people.
Okay.
It's not a shy group, but they're very respectful with one another.
Make me call out to call people.
I know someone talk about Zoom study session. So it's like group study session. Being very helpful. Like it designated like 3 hours where students can come in and out for that. So
nice.
At Slippery Rock, we've also done the study sessions. We have twice weekly study sessions. They last about 2 hours. We've tried to keep our weekly meetings that we have every week and also our check-ins with our mentors and mentees and also our supervisors. So that has been super helpful. Last weekend we did a movie night through Netflix party. So that was really nice just to see everyone and be like a point of contact outside of their home. So I know that's been super helpful.
Nice. Haven't tried Netflix parties, but I want to.
it's my first time hearing about it. So yeah. Someone said it started a book club.
Yeah, the Stetson Bonner Book Club. Jordan's also on this call, and she's been kind of the head of that. But we just started, so everyone finally got their books, and we are set to start meeting next week to talk about it.
What book?
It's called Rising Strong. I'm not entirely sure of the author. If Jordan.
Brene Brown. Brene Brown's Rising Strong. It's one of her newer ones, so it's exciting.
Christy's a big Brene Brown.
Fantastic book. Good job, Jordan.
All right, maybe one more.
I can go. I'm from Siena College. A couple weeks ago, we had a Zoom call for Bonner alumni and current Bonners, and we all kind of just got together to check in on each other
it was cool to connect people who are current bonders with the alumni who never met. And then we planned future meetings of different Zoom calls where we were going to have different breakout rooms to like talk about Netflix shows and different activities we're doing in quarantine, just to stay connected with Bonner love.
Thank you, Alexis. Awesome. These are some really great ideas. We're gonna copy these chat notes, so we'll figure out a way to send them out, but you should also maybe copy and paste them to ideas that you think look good. Awesome. Okay, thank you everyone for sharing. So now what we're gonna do is talk a little about resources that we have at the Bonner Foundation to support you all during this time. So one of the resources we have are around in-reach capacity building projects. So when we say in-reach projects, we're talking about usually you're working with community partner sites, right? External organizations. So when we say in-reach, we're talking about either like your Bonner program or your center. And so projects to support the capacity of your Bonner program or your center. And the idea here is that if sites, I heard in one of my breakout rooms and been hearing this before, if sites maybe don't have the capacity to support online or remote work, your Bonner programs could be a good place to start because that can be done online and remotely. And it would be like setting up teams of students to work on different projects. So I'm gonna share my screen again and show you where on the Bonner Wiki you can find some of these resources. So let me do that. Okay. Oh, that's Zoom. Okay. You'll see this. Let me move the chat. Okay. So here on the Bonner Wiki, hopefully you're familiar with the wiki, but if not, it's bonner.pbworks.com. Right here in the middle section, there's a link to in-reach capacity building projects. So here it provides an overview of explaining a little more about what they are. And then you can go to the project examples. You can see the different categories of work. So you can just imagine, say, a team of students working on, Bonner leadership team. So doing, and here's the section that provides like a draft work plan. So you could see a group of students working on starting with like a visioning activity, what works with your Bonner leadership team structure and operations, and then looking at some of the best practices of other models of programs of how they organize their Bonner leadership team, and then coming up with like a recommendation for some improvements for your BLT, either structure or operations. So each of these different categories, we wrote out a draft work plan and some links to resources. So this could be a good place to start to be thinking about what some of these in-reach projects could be. So you'd want to, think about with, the support of your Bonner staff, like which may be appropriate for your program to do, a group of students to do. So some resources here on that. We had a poll. Oh, we're still doing a poll. I just remembered the poll.
I sent you a message about it, but yeah.
Okay, we're gonna do the poll anyway, but I've already showed you the resources for it. All right, let's see, polling. So the poll is about working with your partners, like where are partners at in this COVID-19 situation. So let's see, I'm gonna launch poll. Okay, so it says, the question is, have you heard from your community partners about remote or online service opportunities? One answer, I have heard from many, like 5 or more community partners that are actively looking for volunteers to help with online or remote work. I've heard from a few, like 1 to 4 partners that are looking for volunteers to help with online or remote work. I've been in contact with partners, but most of them aren't looking for online or remote work right now, or you haven't been in contact with partners at all. So we'll just take a few moments here and have you answer that. 67% of people have voted. A couple more moments.
78.
Almost there. 80%.
Almost there.
Almost there. Oh, you can see it too, Arthur, can't you?
Mm-hmm.
All right, last couple want to put their vote in.
Yeah, I think that just might be foundation staff. So
that could be us. Okay.
Yeah, you can.
We'll end it there. All right, and it should show the results, right? Share results. Y'all see that? Okay, so we've got the largest percentage hearing from a few, about 1 to 4 community partners that are looking for online and remote work, about 53%. And then the next highest have been in contact with partners. Most aren't looking for online work right now, about almost 30%. And then haven't been in contact, about 6%. And then many partners looking for online, about 3%. So, okay. So actually, yeah, that fits well. So a few partners are looking for online remote work. About 53%. That's really great. Okay, I'll stop sharing that. Okay, so I'm gonna hand it over to Arthur now to talk about some alumni resources.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Arthur.
So similar to Liz, mine is not, most of it is not posted yet, but I'm also developing stuff for the alumni network, alumni outreach. So what we envision is ambassador teams. So example of project teams will be alumni search team, Bonner Connect team, a communication team, and event team. So basically, you'll start developing for the alumni search team. It will be responsible for making outreach to alumni to get their contact information, and try to provide those contact information to the foundation staff, mainly me. So a lot of schools doesn't have up-to-date alumni contact information, and we would love to have that, to have our alumni be connected with the Bonnet Network and stay connected, so that they can be engaged with programs and events that you are will be developing in the future too. And then also a Bonnet Connect team. So within Bonnet Connect, I'm gonna stop sharing this for a second. So within Bonnet Connect, there's a group. Sorry, 1 second. Okay. So within Bonnet Connect, there's a group page. Let me move this. So there's a group feature within Bonnet Connect that we haven't put to use yet, and we're hoping that each team, each Bonnet program can develop their own private group page. So within the group page, they will be able to have, like, for example, Stetson Bonnet will have their own Bonnet program page, and we want students to be able to run that Bonnet program page, so they can put like events in there, and then any like newsletter or information that you want to send out to your Bonnet alumni, you will be able to run that through this Bonnet page too. So teams will be able to do that, but before that team can do that, that's why it's going to be a collective effort. We want to have alumni contact information so that students that are working on the Bonnet Connect page will be able to reach out to those alums too. And another team effort would be also communication too. So it would be creating newsletters and interviewing alumni to say you want to have a Bonnet meeting and you want to have alumni part of that too. You can also record the calls and have that published too on your school website, or you can send that to the foundation too. So those are just a few projects that we hope that students can work on. So it doesn't have to be an individual doing it, but collectively as a team. So a team can be anywhere between 2 to 5 people can be on a team working on projects.
So Arthur, can you just talk about how you're going to initiate that and let people know that they can start participating?
Yeah, so I'm gonna send out an email to coordinators on Monday regarding the various projects, and I'm also going to post that too on the wiki. So where basically you will be able to find that, I'm just going to share that real quick. So once you're on the wiki, go down to Bonner Student Leadership, scroll down to Bonner Alumni Ambassador. You'll be able to see like the overview of what the Alumni Ambassador is, but then also within it, you will see like documents to download. So these are various documents and resources that I've developed that you can use to help with your outreach, help with researching like alumni, how to get their contact information and stuff like that too. So all this information will be available on the wiki, and I'll also send an email out to the directors and coordinators. And then so over the summer, if you are the students want to be part of the alumni ambassador team at your school, I will be working individually with each program and each team to help to help guide you all too. So I'll basically be overseeing that and supporting you all in any way, shape and form that you may need to. So that take a lot of pressure off your coordinators and directors too.
I have a big question, and we can just sort of do a show of hands. And at this point, how many of you are on the Bonner Learning Community platform we've set up? So not that many. Okay, so you all have either Arthur or Liz's email. They're pretty easy. Arthur@bonner.org, Liz@bonner.org. Email them to get invited onto that platform. One of the places we'll have these communities of folks working on projects together on their own campuses, but learning from each other will be on that platform. And so you all ought to be on there, and then you can invite other folks to join you on your campus to be part of it. So you'll hear more about that, but that'll be a common place. The wiki is where the resources will be, but that platform will be one of the places we actually chat with each other, where we'll announce things. We'll have links to the webinars and those kinds of resources for the alumni network, as well as other things we have planned, as well as SLI, actually, our summer meeting.
We have a question from Marcus Daniel about alumni. Do you want to address it, Arthur? Would you suggest alumni? Go ahead.
I'm sorry, what's the question?
Would you suggest an alumni to be involved in the alumni project groups?
Yeah, so if alumni want to help with that process too, definitely. I would suggest they be part of it too, especially in terms of making outreach to other alums too. So people are more than likely to share that information if they know someone that is asking for those information too.
If folks could actually type their email into the chat, then we can make sure to invite you both to Bonner Connect and to the Bonner Learning Community. And that'll be a lot faster, and you won't have to do it after.
Good point. Yeah. Awesome. Okay, as everyone does that. So we have about 10 minutes left. And the last thing we just wanted to do was open it up to some question and answer. So yeah, if you all have questions or thoughts that we can answer, support you all. Yeah, or any Bonner Foundation staff want to jump in, say anything?
Well, I'll just say one thing, which is, as you guys are thinking of your questions, as you're having your Bonner meetings, you should feel, if you think it'd be fun to have one of us come join the meeting, just say hi, talk for a few minutes or whatever. We're all available, and we really enjoy that. So at your campus level, if you're doing something, you want a guest to come visit, travel all the way to your meeting, we'd be happy to do that.
Definitely. We have a question in the chat about summer of service. Just any updates?
This is Bobby. So this is an interesting question because it's there are a number of our schools that have summer funding available from the college, sometimes from the Bonner Endowment, sometimes from the college as a whole. And so there's gonna be a lot of flexibility given those schools in the Bonner Scholar Program that have Bonner Scholar funding, that will allow folks to access those funds in a more flexible way than they have in the past. In the Bonner Leader Program, it varies across the board. Some schools I know have, because of liability, I think more than anything else, but also maybe availability of staff to support them, have decided to postpone any summer internship programs that the college normally or university normally sponsors. We're trying in the Scholar Program to work around that. It's still remote service, still meant to be, of course, very safe. But school by school are developing their own policies, and that we've given them that flexibility across the network. So if you have questions about your school and your policies, obviously talk to your director or coordinator. As we do with most things in Bonner, we push the actual decision making around those policies down to the school level. We actually have a fairly small amount of policies that the foundation insists upon. In a situation like this, especially, we push those decision making down to the individual school level. They really you guys know what's actually happening. So that would be true with the summer service policy. If you have a question that your coordinator can answer, encourage them to reach out to me, and I can help them share some ideas from other campuses.
I just wanted to jump in real quick about the capstones. So I'm from Stetson University, and I'm on the lead team for Bonner, and I'm actually the junior class-based leader, so we do them as junior capstones. So as someone in charge of the class, we worked on these projects all semester, and then our big presentation where everyone is talking about their projects and we're presenting to not only our program but also community members was happening at the end of April, so obviously that was canceled. So we're trying to find other ways to still present those projects, and we're actually having everyone still have a presentation just in a digital format. And so we're planning on sharing those to our community and members just to still let people showcase what they've been working on all year.
Thank you. Anyone else want to touch on the senior capstones? Senior capstone presentation of learning question? Okay. Oh, go ahead.
I'm Kendall from the College of New Jersey. So for us, they're actually having 2 days. They'll probably extend this. I don't think everyone's going to do it 2 days, but there's going to be 2 days of presentations. So it'll be a Zoom format, and we'll be able to present through Zoom to anyone that really wants to jump on. So it would be faculty members, any community partners that want to join in. So we would just give them the time of our presentation and then send them the Zoom.
Yeah. This is Bobby. Can you ask for them to send that invite to the foundation as well? Because we like to show up.
Yeah, most definitely.
Thank you.
So I know Rose, I was on phone call with Tiffany, the director there, and they're doing that capstone the week of April 20th. So they're allowing students to invite anyone, whether it be family members or community partners, to the Zoom call, so that they can sit there. So students going to be doing their capstone presentation, and then they can invite anyone they want to invite, as well as other students. Bonner students can sit in on the presentation as part of that would count for hours too, but then all the presentations will be recorded for students to watch at a later date too.
Yeah, awesome. I'll touch on, I don't know if it's Ellie or Eli's question about summer interns at the foundation. So we have already selected summer interns at the foundation, but something that we are thinking about is, particularly with these in-reach capacity building projects, having learning communities. So if there are students across different Bonner schools who are working on certain projects at the foundation, we can organize a community for you all to, and like really help to oversee some of that work of you all working, you know, for your individual programs, but coming together as a, you know, little community of the network, working on Bonner handbooks or Bonner leadership team, or, you know, whatever those projects are. So if you are gonna, you know, do some of that, then please let me know and I can help to organize that. Yeah. Did we have any other questions in there? I think, yeah, those questions there. Any other questions?
There was a question that Gabriella put about opportunities for students where your schools have told you to cease all service. So we shared the website, the Bonner webpage on this, and Vanessa from Christopher Newport also shared one. But that's something that if you all, when you do join this Bonner learning community, don't feel shy about posting things that you've been doing, like including great meetings, you know, book clubs, all the stuff you've mentioned on this call. A couple people have put questions in there like, hey, do you have ideas for this? And that it's good that we already had started that in the fall. I think there's several hundred people on it now, but just use this platform. And also I want to give a plug on the capstones. As you all do those senior presentations or capstones, if you want to send videos our way or send the PDFs of your stuff, like we're going to be looking to showcase that in our virtual Summer Leadership Institute. So don't feel shy. Just send anything cool like to us, okay? Post it in all those platforms.
We know you're online anyway, right? Awesome. Okay, we just have a couple minutes here. Is any final thoughts? Any other questions?
Yeah, I have one, which is, and again, maybe a show of hands or something. Should we do this? Should we do this call again in a couple weeks? Just another check-in, see how people are doing at this level. You know, invite anybody in the network who wants to sort of participate. Is this useful for folks? You think we should just make an effort to do that? I'm looking at your nodding heads. Thumbs up. There you go. Cool. I like Taylor Corley did that. There's now a new reaction button you can stick in there. Yeah, they're awesome.
Yeah.
Well, great. I think personally, I think this has been, it's been really helpful to talk to the director and coordinators. They've really just benefited. They've gotten to know each other very well over the years, many of them. And there's a sense of community and information sharing and just, you know, seeing each other's smiley face makes the Bonner connection pretty strong. So extending that to you guys is only natural. And so I think, you know, let your friends know in the program, let them know that they could join too. You don't have to have some official fancy role within Bonner in order to be invited to this kind of thing. It looks like we've got your email, so we can make sure you get invited to these other platforms as well. So thanks. And Liz, great job facilitating.
Thank you to Arthur, my co-host, as well. Awesome. Well, thank you to all of you all for joining us. We want to respect your time. We're about an hour here. Honors.
Oh, for our next call, by the way, we're going to put a request in to, we've been at the staff, we've been doing hats, Bonner t-shirts. I think Friday it has to be a small quote or like a child limerick or something funny like that. So we have to think of something. And any of you can suggest something that we might want to do. There you go, Bonner swag, that'd be good. Ellie. So awesome.
Quarter zips. Awesome. Okay, well, thank you all so much. Take care. Have a good rest of your week. Bonner love to you all. Bye.
Good job, Liz.
Thanks, everybody. Oh, yeah, we should have taken a photo. Dang it.
Oh, we missed that. Next time.
Next time.
All right.
Bye.